aka Diz, and this is The Force Always.
Okay, so welcome to the show. Let's get on with the Star Wars news. Later on the show, the series on Disney Plus, which is available on your devices, whatever device that you may have. Disney Plus, it's a streaming service. At the moment, they've got this thing called Gallery, and it's all about behind the scenes of The Mandalorian, which is also on Disney Plus. The first live TV action series for Star Wars. And it's going behind the scenes in every aspect. Later on the show, I'll give you the review to this. It's a review that I'll have in the review section. It's called Score, so stick around for that. Disney Plus is really pumping some Star Wars newness at the moment. It's the only newness we're getting pretty much anywhere at the moment with Star Wars. But that is some of the news. More news. Star Wars Celebration in Anaheim this year has not put anything up about possibly cancelling or have been cancelled. It's about 75 days away. You would think with the lack of Star Wars things ahead that we can think of, and especially with all the things that are happening in the world at the moment, especially with the international travel, a lot of the patrons to this Star Wars Celebration come overseas. I know this because I'm one of them, and I had been amongst them as well. But nothing has been said yet. But stay tuned here. I will keep on it as best as I can. To more news. Baby Yoda Black Series. I highly recommend go check it out. It's a unique Black Series. Baby Yoda, if you can get your hands on it, you really need to pre-order this or order it yourself online, because I don't think you're going to find it in stores because it's that excitingly fun. It's about this small. That's the size of the box, roughly. About that size. Baby Yoda Black Series. Check it out. In Australia, it's $20 at your classic retailers here for Star Wars toys and things like that. But I'd say in America, if that's $20 for us, you'll be looking at about $12, $13. That's what I may think. But try and get your hands on one of those now. I'm going to pursue that myself. I have already a pop vinyl of this Baby Yoda, even though I'm not massively into pop vinyl, but it's definitely a good buy. And yeah, that's it. So that's the Star Wars news this week. I know it's rocking, but we are in a serious bit of darkness with Star Wars, and the world events have been really, really, unfortunately, just pushing hard on our daily, especially even here in Australia. We feel a lot of what's been happening in America, see here, and even feeling. It's been quite disgusting, absolute disgrace. We've even had some rallies here, Black Lives Matter. But anyway, that's going off the track, but there's been quite a bit of a lackluster bit of news with Star Wars, but this is all about Star Wars, this show, so that's why I'm sort of bringing you this. But let's now get into views. Views is my story ideas of something about Star Wars. It could be to do with a poster, it could do with the music, it could do with the TV series. It's just a story idea on my behalf. Now, this week's story really is coming from it's an idea that's again a bit sort of a little bit shallow, but it's a story idea. So Mandalorian series season 2 is coming out shortly in the coming months. We've had a lot of announcements with actors and characters coming into this next series, which sounds sort of fun-filled entertainment, which I'm wishing won't blow up in their faces in a over-the-top way. Should we get any more than what we've heard? In my idea to this story, no. I think if you go too hard too soon, it's going to go too bad too quick. That's my little saying I just created right there. Just rocked a freestyle. That's what I did. But it will, too much than what we've heard already will be just too much. Maybe have a bit of a surprise ending to the season 2 that will lead up into season 3, if that is the plan. I think that is the plan. That would be good, but no more than what we've heard. We just don't need any more sort of things, to be coming back, rehashing its character or a storyline that we've seen or heard before. We just need to sort of keep diving into the originality and the vast areas of space. That's via Star Wars space. And that's what I like to sort of hear. It's sort of a story idea and sort of not a story idea. It's just an idea for the up and coming season, which is it's not more of a prediction. It's just what I would do in season 2. I would probably max it with the amount of characters that have been said already, and that's it. Anyway, that's my story idea. Let's get into the reviews. Reviews this week is on episode 7 of the Disney Plus series called Disney Gallery, and it's on the behind the scenes to The Mandalorian. It's called Score. It's episode 7. Look, straight off the bat, I'm going to give this an 8 out of 10 episode. 8 out of 10 for this episode. It really goes into the music, who the person was, how that person got the music together. It was interesting. It's amazing to hear the actual instrument being played raw, without any effects and just being played in front of the camera. So that was good. It really does have iconic components, the actual, especially the main theme. I thought it was good. I thought he's the actual composer himself. Very much like a hippie type guy, but he was, very respectable and really took it upon in a passionate way. And he was definitely, just sort of someone who came from left field that I think is in the right place, and it was great. The only thing I'll say about the score itself, now I love the score. I think the score, I wouldn't say it's, the favourite thing ever. It's very suited, it's very nice. I like the flute. The only part of the score that I'll say that it's a bit unoriginal, in my opinion, but it still gives, goodness to the score, but it's a bit unoriginal. There's a part of the melody, some notes that are being played that sounds a little bit like Rocky. I remember thinking this way back when it started, but I never sort of mentioned it much. But I just heard it again on this particular behind the scenes episode, and it really does sound a little bit Rocky. It's almost overpowers the key chorus sort of catch to what the Mandalorian is with the flute. I just thought that was the only part that I thought it just lacks a little, because it's not completely original. Things come from other things, but this sounds a little bit too much like Rocky. An aspect to it, not the whole lot, just an aspect. The other thing I thought, being a musician of such myself, it was interesting to see how he records things, especially with all these sound boxes he had. I'm for this and not for this. There's just many ways in nowadays that you can capture sound rather than have all these modules and stuff like that. Having the modules is great, and not having the modules is great. It just depends on the particular person, how that person goes about it. I used to be a person that just used to love the hardware type of thing, but at the end of the day, the hardware is fun to have, but it's it's not necessarily needed with the technology of today in how you can get music done. There's a particular sort of what do you call it? Sound box, a box of sounds, let's say, that you can't get as hardware, only as software, and it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. I won't give up that name because I sort of use it myself, and I don't want to give that up so easily. But it's a very you still pay for it with an arm and a leg for the software. But yeah, anyway. So the only other part that I didn't like about the Mandalorian score was that sometimes the choices of sound that are techno sort of sounding, it really just pokes too much through with the orchestral sort of acoustic sounds. I just think it clashes a little, but overall I like the score, and the particular episode, which is what I'm reviewing from Disney Plus, called The Score, episode 7, again was 8 out of 10. Anyway, that's my little speech. Let's get into interviews. Interviews is 2Q, which is 2 questions where I ask myself, you guys out there. First question is, should Star Wars Celebration Anaheim 2020 be cancelled? And I think yes. I think there's a lot of things to just attend to with an audience that is international. Now, my experience from Star Wars Celebration is it's a great event. Oh my God, I tell you, just before, during, and after, the excitement is great. But one big problem, and again I'll say this, is the lottery system, because some panels there that are so popular that you couldn't really fit all the people there. I just think you need a venue that will fit the people, especially people travelling overseas internationally, who don't get the win of that lottery, really are travelling to paying for a ticket just to shop in a Star Wars shopping mall, which is great, but it's you're there for the panels, you're there for the whole experience. But I think, especially with the COVID thing that's happening, that is still happening, it's just too close. And I think there's just not many things that we know of that could possibly, unless they've got a whole lot of secrets in their bag, Disney or Lucasfilm, which are just unheard of very well, because I've heard anything about what's happening at Star Wars Celebration besides the obvious possibilities like Obi-Wan, the movie or the series, probably something on the Kazdian series, the live action on Disney Plus. But I don't know I don't know if it's going to be that worth it to go. And if international travel is not on in America, it's going to really hold back a lot of people who come from overseas, which I know a lot of them. Anyway, so that's my first question. I think it should be cancelled. Don't get me wrong, I love Star Wars Celebration, minus the lottery idea of Star Wars Celebration. I wouldn't want it to be cancelled, but I just think it needs to be cancelled, as the international people just at this point be really pushed away in not able to attend. Anyway, to my next question. So if Star Wars Celebration does not get done this year, when should it be? When should it come through? It definitely should stay in Anaheim. I really like the idea of Anaheim. I've been to Anaheim, not for Star Wars, but I've been, Disneyland and stuff like that. But I think it actually should be about a year or possibly 6 months before that next movie release date at this moment, which is 2022. I think that's 2022 is when the next Star Wars movie's coming out. And I think it should. So I think it's 6 months or a year, more like 6 months before that would be fantastic. There would be and that's, to me, look, it would definitely have to be a trailer or teaser before for that particular Star Wars Celebration event. let's say, look, 6 months could be pushing it with, advertising the film. So we're looking more like a year. So I would say 2021, if they're going to release the movie in December, so that would be, November or December, probably maybe October of 2021. That's what I think is the best time to have it if it gets cancelled this year. But definitely stick to being in Anaheim. It would be exciting to go there again for myself and for anyone to be out there. Anyway, so that's the Interviews 2Q. The Star Wars show is a weekly Star Wars news, views, reviews, interview show. Please subscribe. The Force Always. I'm here for you, for myself. And as I say, at every time at the end, keep rocking.